Hey everybody, I'm Helen Reid. We're doing Core Challenge for the month of November to raise funds for Raise Foundation, who supports youth mentoring programs, a not-for-profit organisation that I've been connected with this year, and love for you to join us in some core work every single day throughout the month of November, being streamed here on my YouTube channel and linked into our Facebook page. I'm here with Reedy, and we're going to use this week to warm up and get into our deep part of our core. We're going to theme each week differently. So this will be our warm-up week. We'll have a yoga-infused week, a fitness week, and also a Pilates-infused week. So with that in mind, Matt, you need a mat. You might want to have a small set of weights, and let's kick it off. Just start off in a seated, kneeling position, spine nice and tall. We want to put our hands onto the back of our head. So you might want to interlace your fingers or keep your hands nice and wide, fingers nice and wide. And we're going to start with doing some seated cat-cow movements to warm up our spine. So with the inhalation, we push our chest up and back and don't overextend too much. And with our exhalation, we curl our chin to our chest, elbows tucked in, and using this movement for the next 5 reps at your own breathing pace. Inhale and exhale. And then coming back into a neutral spine, releasing the hands, taking the right hand to the ground, lifting the left arm up, leaning over to the right, taking a big inhalation into the right, into the left side body, coming into the center and going back over, using again your own breathing pattern. And then swapping sides after your 3rd round. Inhale, exhale, reach. Inhale, exhale, reach. And coming into the center, releasing the hands. Taking the hands forward. We just start warming up our obliques, so the side abdominal muscles. Imagine you're holding a beach ball or a ball. We'll twist over to the right side and come back into the center. Twist over to the right side and come back into the center. If you've already warmed up today or maybe done a training session, so we're going for 8 reps here. This is number 5. You might want to use a weight or a weighted ball to do these with. But it's always good in the morning, coming over to the other side. It's always good in the morning to do a little bit of body weight before you add the weight. 3 more. Good. 2 more. And 1. Releasing the hands. Coming into a tabletop position. So we want the hands here directly underneath the shoulders and the feet hip width apart. We'll do cat-cows here. On the inhalation, we push the shoulders forward, lift our gaze up towards the ceiling. And on the exhalation, we curl the spine up, lift, drop the chin to the chest. Again, using your own breathing pattern for 5 reps here. And 1 more. And coming into a neutral spine. Taking the right hand into the center of your mat. Just going to open up the chest and thoracic area before we do a little bit more core. So right hand into the center. We take the left hand up. Spread the fingers. Really open up the chest. Gaze towards your thumb. And come down and lift again. 5 of these all up. Really focus on Squeezing your side abdominal muscles when you're doing this movement as well. And getting some nice spinal movements. Coming back into the center. Moving the left hand into the middle of the mat. We lift up, twist, gazing up towards the right side, and lift and twist. Good work, guys. One more. And back into the center. Realigning yourself, so hands again directly underneath the shoulders, knees hip width apart. Make sure that your feet nice and flat onto the ground there. Okay, coming up onto the right fingertips here. So putting a little bit more weight into the left side of your body. We take the left leg long behind us, hips facing forward, and we're going to lift. Lift up. Great. Taking the right arm out nice and long. So again, we inhale, we look up towards the sky, the ceiling, whatever's in front of us. We're in our home garage at the moment. And as we exhale, we curl, protract the spine, bring the elbow to the inside of the knee, lift. Bring the elbow to the inside of the knee, curl up, really squeeze your abs. We're doing 5 of these. Lift and squeeze. One more. Squeeze, coming back into the center, releasing nice and gently. And now coming onto the left fingertips here. So putting more of the weight into your right hand, taking the left arm out nice and long, reaching, taking the right foot out. And what you want to make sure of here when you're doing these, so 5 on this side, is that you're keeping the hips facing forward. So you're not opening the leg out per se. Trying to keep it square, so both hips parallel and facing the front side of your mat as best as you can, and coming back into the center after you've done your 5th one. It's taking a few little circle movements on your wrists here, 5 in one direction and then 5 in the opposite direction. Once you've done that, bring your knees close together again. Sit back onto your bottom. And if you'd like at this point, you can grab a little weight. Okay, if you've got one nearby, what we do is start to again work through some spinal rotations with the weight and enable us to really start to fire up that core. So squeezing those belly muscles. If you want to work your arms a little bit, you can also take it out long. You bring it in and we move over to the right, back into the center. So we've got 10 of these, a little bit quicker, breathing, really trying to keep those hips facing forward and working the side abdominal muscles. As soon as you've done your 10th one, over to the other side, straight into it. Good work. 8, 9, 10, and rest there. Got a 10-second breather. On this movement, I'm going to take the weight over to the right and bring it down to the left. So working the upper side of the abs across the body. Ready to go. We've got 10 on each side with these as well. Let's go. Lift and bring it down to the hips. Lift. Now, if you don't have a weight or something weighted, you could use a power band or a little mini band. You could just use your arms. So lifting up nice and tall and releasing. I think I'm up to 7 there. And moving over to the other side. Let's go and bring it down. Keeping those abs engaged the whole time. Last 3. Good work, guys. 2, 1. Popping the weight down and to the side. I'm going to come up on our 3rd exercise into a plank position. So we lift the toes and we'll come down onto the elbows. You want to make sure here that you're pushing the ground away with your fingers. Abs nice and tight. Now, if you need to, you can drop down to your knees if you need to. So we can drop down to the knees if we're a beginner at this in slow movements. Whilst we've been talking now, we've probably been holding about 15 seconds. So 15 more. Push that ground away. Roll the shoulders out, making sure we're not up in the air. Bums are nice and flat for the last 3 seconds here. And relax. I'm going to repeat that 2 more times. 2 more times. So picking up our weight. Going in 3 seconds. So we start off with our twist. 2, 1. Let's go. So long or short. We've got 10 little fast ones. Keeping the belly nice and tight. Last 5. 3 to go. 2 to go. Straight to the other side. Again, you can work at your own pace here. We're going for reps today. As we build up, we will be going for time. And if 10's too much for you, drop it down to 5. And relax there. Got a 10-second breather before we go into those lateral chops. Ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Lift it up, bring it down across the body. So giving ourselves about 10 seconds break just to readjust, set the mind into what it needs to do for the next exercise. As soon as you've done one side, go straight onto the other sides. Lift and release. Now, if you've got any shoulder problems, you don't need to go above the head. You can bring it just up to the shoulder heights. Last 3 here. 2 to go. And rest. 10-second breather. We'll go back into that plank position. So setting ourselves into the plank. So we want to make sure our feet here, our elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. Feet can be together if that's easier for you, or can be at that shoulder width apart. And we're holding here for 30 seconds. Now, if 30 seconds isn't available to you today, try 10 seconds, try 15 seconds, and build it up from there. Squeeze those abs. You might want to squeeze your glutes as well, so your bum muscles. Last 3, 2, 1. Drop to the knees gently and come back up into that seated position. Third round. So picking up our weights, we're going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go to the side. We are experts by now. 10 reps. Now, if this is a little bit too easy for you, you can always pick up a slightly heavier weight, or you could do 4 or 5 rounds, or repeat this routine. As the 30 days, we work through the 30 days, we'll be making this a little more complex as we build that strength. Okay, so we're going into our final round of the chops. Going in 3 seconds, 2, 1. Let's go. Bring it down across the body. Remembering that we're here to create awareness for the Raise Foundation, swapping sides, trying to help young people with youth issues of today. So if you'd like to jump on, we do have a team running. We're doing workouts like this every day throughout November and raising awareness, raising funds. Drop me a note and we'll add you to the team. It's free to join and train alongside of us and have some fun. Going in 4 seconds. Last one, and let's go. Pushing the ground away with your hands. Back nice and flat. Keep the neck nice and long. We're 10 seconds in. Keep those feet together. Squeeze the butt if you need to. Breathe. I've got 10 more seconds, everyone. 10 more seconds. You've nearly done it. Last 5 seconds. And drop to the knees gently. Come into a child's pose. Notice your breathing here. Walk your hands gently towards you. Coming back to that original seated position. Just taking a moment here to notice how your body feels right now. Remember to do some cool down stretches. So they could be the spine curls we did at the beginning and the laterals. Just to stretch out the body a little bit. Hold those stretches for 15 to 30 seconds. Probably 3 rounds of those will be great for today's practice. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.